Hi, this is Chris Howard, host of Plugged In with Chris Howard. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from Major League Baseball, NHL, and UFC, and professional golf, BetOnline remains the number one source for all your sports wagering info. In between games, head over to the BetOnline's casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Are you feeling stuck in your career or lacking employment at the moment? Experiencing symptoms of job dissatisfaction? You might be suffering from a common condition known as career stagnation. But don't worry, there's a solution. Monster.com. Monster.com offers a comprehensive suite of career-boosting tools designed just for you. Our free resume review and AI interview prep tool will help you stand out from the crowd. Need more guidance? Dive into our career advice articles for expert tips and insights. And don't forget to check out our salary tools to ensure you're getting paid what you're worth. Side effects may include a new job, increased confidence, and a brighter future. Consult Monster.com today and take the first step towards your new career. Ready for your next job opportunity? Visit Monster.com now.
The American Battlefield Protection Program has identified 6 battlefield sites in Michigan associated with the War of 1812. But they have found none for a war that took place over 100 years later between 2 corporate titans. Because this was not a war with guns or bombs or battlefields. It was one that used corn and spoons and milk. It was the cereal war. And while there was eventually an obvious winner, the fight between these 2 companies was far from over. And after years of competition, espionage, and even theft, they found themselves in a race to not only bring a new product to market, but to change the way Americans would view breakfast forever. And that's why this week's On Brand is on Pop-Tarts.
You're all jazzed up, nearly having a cow. You want your favorite show, and it's on right now. It's on Brand.
Welcome to On Brand with Jon and Marisa.
Hey, I'm Jon.
Hey, I'm Marisa. And before we get into the show, I just want to give a very warm On Brand welcome to all of our new brand freaks that have joined the show since our recent appearance on Doughboys, where we spoke about carrots.
I mean, I gotta say, listen, we have... I always see people say this when they talk about their fans. I always think like saying fans is like so silly. But we have some of the nicest people that like listen to our show.
Yeah.
We're very into like communicating with the freaks. So we love them dearly. But this past week has been like, we've had, I mean, the Doughboys is obviously like one of the most iconic podcasts out there. They've been doing this for 9 years. They're such lovely guys. And we were fortunate enough for them to invite us to be on their show. And holy shit. I mean, all of you people who have come from Doughboys have been so generous with your kind words and posting on Reddit and on Facebook and reaching out to us by DMs. It's been incredible.
The line chart that graphs our listenership looks like base camp for Mount Everest, let's just say.
I watch Days of Our Lives. It looks like when Marlena is in the hospital and you think she's going to die and there's barely a pulse, and then all of a sudden they do those 2 paddles and it's like, boop, and you're like, oh my God, she's going to live.
Not to say that we were
not
barely
that we weren't
a
dying.
pulse.
We're not Marlena. We're not going to turn into the devil.
We had a small but very active and loyal community, and that has just grown. And so we just want to say, of course, we love our day one brand freaks, brandies, but we are just so grateful to broaden the community, and we love to chat with you guys. So if you've started listening to the show since the appearance on Doughboys, if you're a new fan, you have something to say, write to us on Instagram. We love to chat with you guys.
And if you are new, one thing that we do like to do is give shout outs whenever we can to people to listen to the show. So 2 new people that have found us from Doughboys, I want to give a shout out to because they both wrote us. They were so complimentary and were like, I'm so happy I found your show. We've already listened to multiple episodes, and that's Bog Monkey and Erica Logan. And I'm not saying that you have to listen to multiple episodes to get a shout out, but man, it's really nice
certainly helps,
that
yeah.
they listened to a bunch of episodes. I mean, just scroll through. You're going to find a brand you like. So,
Absolutely.
all right, that's it. Okay, so you'll be able to watch this on our Instagram video, but I just surprised Marisa before the show with what this brand is going to be in the most epic and iconic way than I possibly could. It went off without a hitch. And if you haven't listened to our birthday show last year, we did an episode on the Tom Cruise cake. If you don't know what that is, go listen to it and you'll find out all about it. But I wanted to do another thing. Marissa and I have birthdays 1 week apart. Hers is Monday. Mine's a week from Monday. So it's kind of fun to get like a sweet treat. So I don't even know how to like tell them what we did. So the episode is on Pop-Tarts.
So first of all, I knew something funny was happening because John said, can somebody bring their hatchback to my house to carry this week's brand to headquarters, my home?
Yeah, I reached out to her husband and Alistair and was like, I need help, guys. I can't get this thing in my car.
So what was it, John?
So I was watching TikTok about a month ago, and I came across a TikTok of a guy with an enormous Pop-Tart. And I was like, holy, what is that Pop-Tart? And I look it up, and I went to the Pop-Tart website, and I found it. It's called the Party Pop-Tart. And they're like, sold out. Like, we did this with like one drop of like 3 cities, 10.
Did you buy this on eBay?
Babe, no. I'm working with like Pop-Tart's social media team. And they're like, you know, it was a viral thing. We sold 10 of these Pop-Tarts in 3 different cities. They sold out instantly, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, man, that sucks. That would have been fun to do. And then it was like, coming September 28th through 30, we're going to do one more drop.
Wow.
Chicago, New York, LA, 10 Pop-Tarts each. And they went on sale like 2 weeks ago. And like I like set an alarm. I was like, I'm getting one of these Pop-Tarts. Like I get on the Pop-Tart website. New York and Chicago sold out in...
I thought you were going to be like 10 available for hours days. Who else is this for but 2 people who have a birthday and host a brand podcast?
I know. And then I'm like, well, they have 10. Should I get like, I should get Al one. I should get me. I'll probably want 2.
Wait, clarify that it's about 3 by 5 feet.
They say it's the size of 17 normal Pop-Tarts. It comes in a box that had to be delivered by a cube truck. 2 men brought it into my house. But anyway, I managed to get one. They all sold out. They were all sold out within like 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be pictures. There's going to be videos on...
Wait, did you get it traditional means or did you have to get squirrely with it like you usually do?
What do you mean?
You bought it traditionally. You just add to cart, paid for it.
Add to cart and paid for it.
Okay, you didn't have to like call somebody, wait on hold, send an email. Okay.
No, it was just the normal. I was like so worried. I was like, in my head, I'm like, everyone's trying to get this giant. They say it's 30 pounds, this 30-pound Pop-Tart.
It says it serves 72.
And the thing is, like, so I love pop art, you know that.
Yeah.
And like the box just looks like...
I'm worried because you said you're keeping the box.
I'm absolutely keeping the box.
It's quite greasy.
Inside. It will go into the unit for a while. I don't know where to put it. That thing has been in my kitchen for 3 days. I've had to walk around this giant Pop-Tart for 3 days. But it comes in a box that looks just like a normal box of Pop-Tarts. And then you open it up, and clearly it's not... They've worked with a bakery to make this, but it's super cute. Like, it looks like an enormous Pop-Tart. I was like, Al probably won't want to eat any because he's so, like, he'll just, like, lick it or, like, sniff it and be like, that's cool. He had some, and he really...
You know why? Because he likes jam.
He likes jam. I actually have a note in the show that's like, talk to Al about jam. We'll get to that.
When he wants a little sweet treat, you know, sometimes he'll be like, ooh, I was kind of naughty. And I'm like, oh, what'd you have? And he's like, a piece of toast with butter and jam.
I go over to his apartment and he's like sitting in the dark rocking. I'm like, Al, what's wrong? He's like, I had marmalade.
I've been a bad, bad boy.
I've been so bad today, John. There's
and he begs John to spank him. It's really weird.
So, yeah. So, you'll see all this, but it was super fun. And the funny thing is, I wasn't even going to do Pop-Tarts as my brand. I was just going to do this and then maybe do it eventually. But I was like, that's silly. Let's just make this a whole Pop-Tart birthday.
What a perfect opportunity.
Your kids lost their minds over this thing. Like, we couldn't even get, like, the pictures taken. Like, why aren't we eating this now? I'm like, babe, it's been here for 30 seconds. Like, you didn't even know about this giant Pop-Tart a minute ago. They're like, I must eat this now.
You showed a lot of restraint with this in your kitchen. Because normally if there's something, if I make a sweet treat, something with a nice flaky crust, or it's even a pot pie, anything. If it's sitting in the kitchen cooling, old Sticky Fingers Glover gets in there and he peels off a little bit of crust for himself.
I gotta say, I feel like Alistair is more aggressive with the sweets in the kitchen than I am.
Okay.
Alistair, but he just does it like as a gentleman and quietly. Like he takes like a brownie on a napkin and like just stands over on the other side of the room and eats it.
You're like fingering around with your little ham hocks.
And then I'm putting it in I'm like, you'll hear me in your cabinets looking for like aluminum foil.
Exactly.
Because I want to squirrel some home.
Yeah, this was very exciting. What a fun surprise. And I'm so excited to learn about Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, I think you're going to enjoy it. I was like, is there going to be enough meat on the bones here? Holy, you don't even know.
If anybody can find meat on a bone, it's you, honey.
You made yourself laugh. Yeah,
you have an Emmy.
What is that?
You can find meat on the bone in your research.
Nice save.
I'm guessing you were downtown at the library on the microfiche looking at old newspapers.
Don't get me started on the microfiche. I can't.
I have a little Old Navy order update.
Oh, my God.
So if you remember from a previous episode, I can't remember. I feel like this was like a few months ago. I placed an order for some clothing from Old Navy. I put in an address where I no longer lived. I went to the house where the clothing was sent, and the woman claimed the package never came. An obvious lie.
So basically, you sent a stranger clothes, and she kept them. Then what did you do?
I got a refund for that because my package was missing.
Lied to Old Navy and got a refund.
I lied to Old Navy. I said my package couldn't be found, which is technically true. Hooked me up to a lie detector. My package was not found.
True.
I placed another order after my order was refunded. I also put a second time, sent it to the wrong address.
The same wrong address.
The same wrong address.
This woman's like, man, that blonde girl loves me.
Old Navy did not honor the refund ask the second time. So I said, I needed a little bit of time to cool off because I was feeling a little stung by Old Navy.
Stung by Old Navy? You were a moron.
I wanted to see what they could do to make it right. Answer was nothing.
I do think we will post something on Instagram. We'll do a poll here. Are you on Team Marisa or Old Navy with this? I'm on Team Old Navy.
I placed a third order. For a third time, I had it sent to the wrong address, but I caught it in time and I was able to correct the mistake before it left the warehouse. So I'm
concerned. I'm not going to lie.
I'm telling you, I caught it, John, so I'm improving.
No, you didn't catch it. You sent it.
Well, I processed the order to the wrong address, 4317.
Listen, let's do this now.
Sure, yeah.
Go on oldnavy.com, hit edit address, and delete. And
Oh.
then you won't have this problem anymore.
I can't promise I can do that. So it didn't ship to the wrong place. If that girl got a third order from me, I think she'd call 911. I think she'd be very worried about me.
I really want to bring a little more positivity to this pod.
I'm ready to move on also.
Okay, I but had a telehealth appointment with a nutritionist.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did they know about the 3x5 foot Pop-Tart?
It was pre that.
Was that in the background of your telehealth appointment?
She's
don't know.
She's
okay, so we're talking about like healthy habits, and then you like kind of like move slightly out of frame, and behind you she sees a 3x5 foot Pop-Tart, and she's like, okay, let's start even further back.
She's like, okay, let's go through what you ate today. And I just have jam all dripping down my face. No, I gotta say, listen, I hate accountability.
Okay.
I hate doctors.
Yeah.
I hate being truthful about...
You did say you had a thing before where you're like, I hate this doctor. And we're like, why? And you're like, he always asks me what I eat in a day.
I mean, I just like... I hate it. I hate, like, I will never, I've struggled with weight on and off forever. I'm older now and I kind of care less, but my doctor wanted me to talk to this nutritionist. I figured this was a perfect episode to bring it up on. So she's like asking me what I eat. I like try to dance around. Like, I don't know. I can't just be truthful.
Why
like,
not tell the truth? I mean, you told everybody you got Rice Krispie treats. You got ham. I mean,
I'm not telling her that. I was like, listen. I was like, okay, I will, but I'm going to be truthful. I'm going through a hash brown phase because I've been eating hash browns every morning. And she's like, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
She's like, you should have protein with it and whatever. And we go through the things.
Sure.
And I'm like sweating. And then like I'm done. And I'm like, I had celery. Like I try to throw in like, she's like, well, celery, I mean, that's kind of just water and fiber. She's like, try this or that. And then like, she's like, well, it sounds like you eat pretty healthy. And I was like, it does? I was like, okay, then we got to go back because I don't. I was like, I'm completely lying to you. I have a total meltdown. She's like, okay, well, this sounds good. And then
so you stopped, she was about to like end the telehealth and then you had to restart the appointment truthful edition?
Yeah, I mean, give her more. I was like, I don't want it in your head that I'm doing good.
I mean, this is a waste of both of your time if you're not being honest. What are you doing?
We start to wrap it up and then out of nowhere, I'm like, and I eat cake. Okay, I like cake. And she's like, okay. Mm-hmm. But we got through it. And
well, what's her plan? Does she have like a strategy for you or something?
She does. She sent it to me. I'll be honest. I haven't opened it. I mean, it's in my, your portal.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to access a portal. You know why?
But again, we've gotten off. This is an episode about birthdays and Pop-Tarts.
We shouldn't be talking about your nutrition plan.
No, we'll talk. Well, let's get into.
Let's give that the Garfield treatment. Diet starts on Monday.
And well, Monday's a holiday. Let's say Tuesday. And I do like lasagna. but I didn't tell the nutritionist that.
The new NBA and MLB season is in full swing, and BetOnline has you covered with the best odds and biggest promotions and live in-game betting on all your favorite teams. Head to BetOnline today to stay updated on all the action. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Okay, so let's talk about Pop-Tart, shall we?
Let's dig in.
Why did I do Pop-Tarts? We've already talked about that. I wouldn't normally. You did Oreos in our last episode. I like to have a different. I think we both try to do Alistair kind of mediates because we don't know what brands we're doing. I wouldn't normally do another like off-the-shelf sweet treat right after Oreos, but this was just too good of an opportunity to do it. Now, do you eat Pop-Tarts? Or let me guess, you eat like Trader Joe's like wheat squares?
I haven't had a Pop-Tart in probably 30 years.
Really?
Yeah.
See, this is why, like, you probably like talking to a nutritionist.
No, are you kidding?
You're healthy.
You see what I do? I have like a hot fudge sundae every night.
That's true, but Marisa and Alistair eat very healthy. Alistair more than any of us. Like,
Well,
that's why he's dry as a bone, and I'm over here. I'm literally drenched in sweat. You can't tell.
I mean, have you looked in Alpal's cabinet?
No.
Like he doesn't even buy, like, you know, you're in the store, you're like, oh, chips sound good, or like trail mix, or like you just see like snacks at the store, and you're like, well, that might be nice to munch on midday. Bear as a peasant.
There's nothing in it.
Nothing.
Like 1/2 of a like 99% cacao like chocolate bar.
That's about as wild as it gets. In his refrigerator, it's like only like if he's shopping for a recipe, he doesn't just go like, oh yeah, grapes are good. I'll get like a bunch of grapes.
And I buy like every novelty spice that Trader Joe's puts out.
Sure.
I don't even use them. Like we're so opposite.
The new end cap, I'm there. I'm just throwing it into my car with reckless abandon, of course. Yes, everybody's different. I snack and have treats in different ways. Pop-Tarts, I definitely love Pop-Tarts. I love toaster strudel as well. I like all the breakfast pastries.
Okay, well, one thing I learned when we did Doughboys is people seemed very obsessed about how I eat things weirdly. So let's just go through how I eat a Pop-Tart.
How?
Okay, so I only like Pop-Tarts toasted.
Sure, normal.
Okay, so while the Pop-Tart is toasting, I put a smear, like I'm an artist, like a smear of butter on the plate. Then I put
on the plate?
On the plate. And then I put a hot Pop-Tart on top of the smear. Then I butter the top of the Pop-Tart. So now it's ready.
Okay.
Then I eat it with a knife.
So the butter is bread and the Pop-Tart is the filling of the sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a butter bitch. Everybody knows that. Look at how I eat movie theater popcorn.
We need that on a hat.
So then I eat with a knife. I cut off each side of the crust.
I used to do that too. The crust that doesn't have any of the filling in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll eat it, but it's like I'm just eating the garbage first. And then I'm left with like just a nice jammy like rectangle. And that's when I have the note in, let's talk to Alistair about jam. We've already kind of talked about it. I gave Alistair last year a jam advent calendar. So he had like 24 different jams over a month, which I think some of them you liked.
Had you ever been happier?
No.
I mean, I never saw a gift that was more appropriate for someone in my life. I was like 24 jams and 1 honey.
You might be the only person it is appropriate for, I think, yeah.
And here's how different Alistair and I are. Because of course I did, I bought myself the same advent calendar. It was a 1-month advent calendar. He finished it in the normal 24 days. I've still only eaten 2 of the jars. I still have 22 jars.
Oh, no.
Baby jam at home.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, so there's Alistair and jam. But yeah, so that's how I eat Pop-Tarts.
I'm going to send this episode to your nutritionist.
Don't let her find out about the pod.
I mean, this will be really bad for you.
Don't let her listen to Doughboys. Because I talk about eating pizza like, I'm disgusting.
Did you eat Pop-Tarts growing up? Was that like something that you had regularly in your house? Or was that kind of like something you got as like a teenager or as a young adult? When did Pop-Tarts enter your life?
I think we always had them as kids.
Okay, so that was kind of a staple.
Yeah. And my family's the one that taught me to eat them with butter. I know that that's a big controversial thing. We'll get to that later. There's 2 camps, people that eat it with butter. I can't comprehend not eating it with butter. I don't eat them untoasted. That feels very raw to me.
I would eat them untoasted if I'm hurrying off to school. Grab a 2-pack of those.
Or like before or after your jog. How's jog club going?
Jogging club is going well.
Yeah?
You're still welcome to join.
I told you I would drive next to you.
Throw eggs at us.
Yeah.
Tell your nutritionist that you were invited to join a jogging club. That might change her perception of you.
I told her.
What?
I was like, well, my friends and I used to go hiking on Saturdays, but we've stopped doing that. I know. I just wanted to hear the word hiking and think I was good.
It's a bold-faced lie.
But we did.
We still do.
You do?
We do go hiking.
Oh
my God.
Okay, Pop-Tarts. Okay, so I want to start with the 1940s American diet. So it's World War II, and it's the introduction of food rationing. So like things like meat and cheese and butter and fats and sugars, they're all being very heavily restricted. Potatoes, root vegetables, and breads and carbs are all available pretty freely. So it's a big shift in how people are eating. It's very high carb diets and low in fat. And during the war, there was like all these new like food technologies happening, and they were trying to figure out ways and ingredients and recipes where they could make food that like was shelf stable, that they could use in the war and send to the soldiers, that would last longer, like dehydrating foods, and just all these new ways of approaching food.
Did you consider joining the army when you found out you'd get free Pop-Tarts?
I thought this was an age joke.
I guess it could be both.
It was just yes. I couldn't join World War II because I wasn't born yet. So when the war ended, they had created all these technologies, and they wanted to find ways that they could incorporate that into the American diet, because now they had all this new way of approaching things. So big food companies were trying to create foods using these processes that would appeal to the masses. So then we move into the 1950s, and then you start to see a lot of new appliances and electronics and new products coming out. And this whole decade is all about convenience and like processed foods.
I feel like when I think of the 1950s, I feel like it's like TV dinner. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, we're getting TV dinners on here.
Perfect.
I'm
yes.
about to talk about
yes.
that. I even have a thing. Explain. Did Mar ever eat TV dinners? Before we get to TV, or we can actually get to TV dinners. Did you eat? So we would have them.
Yes.
I don't think we had them often, and I don't even know if they were considered like a special treat, but we did have them. And if you're too young, like a TV dinner, like when they came out, it was basically like a whole meal that came on a tray. They were frozen. You would have one little section of a vegetable, peas or carrots. You'd have one sometimes weird protein or like a little square of lasagna.
A little Salisbury steak.
A Salisbury. God, mashed potatoes and Salisbury
So
steak.
good.
So good.
So good.
And then there would be some weird, like not weird, but like a dessert.
Boiling hot pudding.
Yeah, boiling hot pudding, a sliver of a brownie. Or scalding hot like apples. Like,
yes, apple cinnamon.
Yeah, like cinnamon apples. And they were calling that because at that time everyone's watching TV. They literally would sell TV trays, so you'd be on the couch with your family with your TV tray and your little TV dinner, and it's so iconic. So this is something that I thought was really interesting. So in the 50s, all these new foods were coming out, and within like a few year period, the following foods all came out. Minute Rice, Duncan Hines Cake Mix, which we've done an episode on if you want to listen to it, Kraft Cheese Whiz, Mrs. Paul's Fish Sticks, Eggo Frozen Waffles, Sunkissed Tuna, Butterball Turkeys, Jif Peanut Butter. It's like, holy crap, it's like the greatest hits of like processed foods.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking about that today, like, is there still foods that come out that are like, will be iconic in like 50 years? I feel like now everything's just kind of like a healthier version of something exists, or it's like a existing brand that's trying to do something different.
I can't think of a single food, like something like you said, like Cheese Whiz, like canned cheese. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Something like that is a completely new innovation that it will exist for the next like 70 years. I can't think of a single one. Al, can you think of any? What's a new food? No way.
There's no new food.
There's no new foods. Wow, what a time to be alive. Take me back to any time machine.
You just want to get back. Oh, last fun fact about TV dinners. Swanson TV dinners were introduced on September 10th, 1953, the day after my birthday. No, and I wasn't born in 1953, but I was born on September 9th.
You were almost named Swanson. I loved a Swanson TV dinner. Yeah, TV dinners were big in rotation in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was huge.
Okay, so this trend in processed foods continues on into the 1960s, and now we're going to start getting into our story. So in 1960, you've got these two very big players in the cereal aisle. You've got Post and Kellogg's, and you did an episode on Kellogg's, so there's a lot of things that we've already talked a lot about in other episodes, so feel free to go back if you want to know more about the Kellogg story. And they both started in Battle Creek, Michigan, and so that city earned the name Cereal City, and they have a really
We should go there to honor our ancestors.
We should get off the plane holding a bowl and a gallon of milk and be like, we're here.
Al liked to microwave his cereal.
God, it's like I never think.
Al, tell everyone how you ate cereal.
In winter, I would make a bowl of Frosted Flakes and then put it in the microwave so that everything would get really soggy. and slightly warm.
This is how different we are. Do you know how I eat cereal? I pour a bowl of milk, and then I will pour just a layer of cereal and eat that. I need it to be completely crunchy, and then another layer, and then another layer. I don't like any sog.
I mean, most people don't eat cereal for the sog.
And I will say, this is, of course, I recently got Frosted Flakes for what I feel like is the first time. They're good.
Oh my God, Frosted
I mean, they're
Flakes
so
are-
sweet, but I'm like, damn,
They
they're
are so
good. They're good dry. They're
Yes.
good in milk.
Frosted Flakes are a leave the box cereal. It's like
Yeah.
you can't do just one bowl.
No, I was very impressed. And it's funny, what I was just thinking about Al is like, you feel like you're never going to learn anything that's going to surprise you about Al. That's what my friend said yesterday. My friend came over for lunch yesterday, and he walks into my house, and there's this giant Pop-Tart box in my kitchen. And he's like, I swear to God, I always think you will not be able to surprise me. But of course, there's a giant Pop-Tart box in your kitchen.
We love that about you.
All right, so February 16th, 1964, Post announces to the press that they're going to be releasing a new product called Country Squares. It's a breakfast pastry that's made with a dehydrated technique that was originally used for dog food.
Al worked at a dog food factory.
What? Get this guy a mic. You did? What did you, was it that, did you work at it for like a day? I feel like we both had factory stories that we worked at for like a day.
Yeah, I was staying with my mom in England for the summer and went down to the local work office and asked for any work that they had. And so for a day, they needed somebody to work, fill in a shift at a dog food factory.
What did you do at the dog food factory?
I was working maintenance.
For one day? You're just a kid walking around with like a screwdriver, like, need anything screwed?
They had some big inspection coming up, and so they had to paint everything to make it look nice.
Okay.
And so I spent the entire shift painting over dried dog food stuck to walls and machines. The smell was so bad. I left the shift about 6 hours in, went home, took everything off, threw it in the washing machine. And even now I can still smell the smells. It was horrendous. The advice I was given by the lady in the work office was spray a whole bunch of aftershave on your arm so that when the smell becomes overwhelming, you can smell that aftershave.
That's like something I feel like a police officer would tell, like when we're like working with corpses.
Like a rookie cop, yeah.
Like you're going to want to have like one thing that smells okay or you're not going to make it through this.
How funny is it that Al, he tried to get a job at a movie theater and like 1 hour into a shift, he was like, I can't do this. I don't think this job is a good fit for me. And he worked an entire day at a dog food factory.
Yeah, that does seem crazy.
He's like, he walks in and he's like, this is up my alley.
But I could see him, if it is just painting, I could see him kind of getting zoned in on the mindset of like the...
Making it pristine.
Yeah, like making perfect lines. And like the way you describe it, it sounds like when you move into an apartment or like whenever a landlord like comes to like repaint a place, like they just paint over everything.
Mm-hmm.
They don't clean anything. Like you'll find like a white painted fly on your wall.
The worst part about it was that in the middle of the factory, there's this giant conveyor belt with huge slabs of meat going up, and then they would come down the other side all steamed, and it was disgusting. Like Looney Tunes style, like dun 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 dun. It was awful.
Mara doesn't have a microphone, or I assume she would have made it. John, you know something about steamed meats, don't you?
John, you know something about steamed meats, don't you? John's salivating at the mention of steamed meats.
Oh, I love
steamed meats entering a vessel.
Okay. They also announced that they had come up with a technique to enclose the pastries in foil, which will keep them fresher longer and allows them to be slightly moist without spoiling.
Do you not like the word moist?
I literally, in purple, anything I put in my script that's purple is something I want to talk to you about.
I love it.
Talk about moist. Because I do feel like that's one of those words people are like,
Yeah.
I hate moist. And I used to be like
moist.
that. I don't care about moist. Like, it doesn't bother me anymore.
Moist is a fabulous word. I mean, how I was about to say all the good things in life are moist, honey.
Babe, Jesus. The Doughboy fans are going to love this. Now we have to be a little dirtier.
A moist piece of chocolate cake,
Well,
right?
yeah.
You lost that moist piece of, and you were like, oh, and then I'm like, chocolate cake, and then you
Yeah.
perked right up.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm sure there's other things that I like. Ointment is another one that I used to not love, but I don't care about now. People are very triggered by moist, though.
Well, vote below. There's nowhere. Below's nowhere.
We'll put up
I'm
another.
curious what people think.
We'll put up another poll. So I know this is also going to seem crazy, but the idea of eating breakfast outside of the kitchen in 1964 was incredibly radical.
What do you mean outside the kitchen? Like breakfast to go? Or
Yes.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like it's like you sit down with your family, you have orange juice, you have milk, you have eggs, you have bacon, you have all the things.
That's so funny. Breakfast like that like does only exist to me in like movies or like children's books where it's like the kids wake up and they come downstairs and there's like orange juice and milk and bacon and eggs and a stack of pancakes.
Yeah, I do feel like TV probably idealized it a lot of, like, I feel like the mothers that are represented in TV and movies from that time, it's like they make every food known to man.
Yeah.
And then the kid will come in and like grab a bacon slice. He's like late for school. And what does she do with all that food?
Straight in the bin.
That's why Tupperware
Oh,
will be our next
absolutely,
brand
yes.
because they had to use a lot of Tupperware back then.
Sure.
Okay, so the press is so excited about the concept of this new breakfast on the go. You just grab it. It stays fresh and moist forever. The food industry is so impressed by it. Sounds great. Let's have them. Post has a giant hazinga.
Uh-oh.
They're like, well, they're not quite ready. They'll come out they'll be out later this year. They'll be out in a few months.
Okay.
Kellogg's is like, few months, eh? They get all the troops together. They're like, okay, we have a few months to come up with a toaster pastry.
Okay.
So the race is on. Kellogg's gets on the phone. They call a guy named William Bill Post. So confusing. He's not related to Post, the cereal company.
Oh, God.
I know. That's why I'm just going to call
Can
him.
we give him a new name?
I'm just calling him Bill.
Okay, great.
But I do think it's crazy that he's not related. All right. So who is Bill Post? He's
No, not Post.
Well, okay. Who is Bill?
Yes. Thank you. I can't figure out where to ship my Old Navy order. You think I can keep this straight?
Too many posts.
Too many posts.
He's the son of Dutch immigrants, and he has been working at Keebler since he was 16 years old.
In the tree. Those little guys. They're cute.
He runs he does the chocolate pouring over the thing.
The drizzly on the...
Keebler would be a fun brand. I mean,
that's
maybe.
fine.
I don't know their history, but I did like Keebler cookies when I
I
was
just
young.
wanted to live in that tree.
Those striped, oh man, those
Fudge
striped
stripes.
cookies, and they're like all chocolate on the bottom and stripes on top.
Let me guess. You put the cookie on your tongue until the bottom layer of chocolate melted, and then it became like a soggy mess in your mouth.
I'm trying to think. I feel like I just ate those
You
normal.
spit it out on a piece of wax paper, dehydrated it, rolled it up like a cigar.
That reminds me, there was a comment from Doughboys where someone was like, John told a story about how he ate Cheez-Its and he'd regurgitate them and roll them into a ball. And I was so repulsed by it. I'm sure that I must have heard that wrong. And you did. I didn't do that with Cheez-Its. I did it with Ritz crackers. I would eat like 10 Ritz crackers, get them just enough saliva in them, spit them out, roll it up in a ball, and then I'd eat that like an apple. All right, so
People are trying to enjoy their easy day. They're in the car. They're cruising down the highway. They just want to have a little bit of fun, and they have to hear you say that.
someone's just jogging along a lake,
it's
and they're
terrible.
laughing and enjoying the podcast.
Now
and how
they're
they've
jumping
just,
off a bridge.
They're just standing. They've stopped, and they're just standing and pondering.
It's terrible.
So Bill has worked at Keebler since he was 16, and when Kellogg's calls, he is the plant manager. And so they're like, listen, Bill, we have this idea for this thing we want to make. We don't know how to do it. We want to come over and look at the Keebler machines. And he's like, come on over. So they go over at the plant, and they tell him what they're trying to do. They're trying to make a filled toaster treat that would be kind of a play on toast and jam, which I never really knew that's what Pop-Tarts were. To be fair, this is actually where I put the thing to talk about Al and the thing, but it came earlier.
He's single. Likes jam, dog food factories.
Dislikes steamed meats. So they tell him what they're trying to do, and Bill's like, I know how to make one sheet of dough for crackers, but I've never made 2-layered pastry before.
I mean, can you blame? It seems impossible.
But he's had all this experience. He's been at Keebler for years, and he's very confident. And he's like, you know what? I can figure that out. And Kellogg's is like, we've only got 4 months to do this. And he's like, I can figure this out. And he gets the job.
Wow.
So he puts a team together, and in an interview he talks about how he takes the job, and all the people that he works with are all naysayers. I don't know why in the 60s man, Bill, this is not a good idea.
I mean, 4 months seems like plenty of time.
I feel like we could invent Pop-Tarts in 4 months.
I mean, if we're in a factory with like all the ingredients, I feel like we could get there in like a day or two.
But you have to, it's not 4 months just to come out. It's like packaging it, naming
Factory,
it, getting it out into the,
sure.
like you have to, they want to beat post. They want to be out in the public.
It has to be on the shelves in hand.
And
in
you
4
always
months.
hear stories about how long things take. Like I'm sure just getting the boxes printed is like 6 weeks or
Not
whatever.
with you and me on the case.
Wow.
Best in the biz.
They f***ed up by calling Bill. So he ends up coming up with a prototype for it. And what he created looks a little bit different than it does today. There was no frosting on Pop-Tarts for the first several years because they hadn't figured out how to do that yet because they assumed frosting would melt in the toaster. His had rounded corners. He had like a crimp that went diagonally through the pastry so you could break it in half. And the idea is the filling would all ooze out and it would just be a sexy little pastry treat.
Ooh.
And he used his kids as like test subjects. So, and apparently he did that with a ton of things that he would make at Keebler or that they wanted like feedback on. He would bring his kids stuff all the time. And usually they just didn't like most of the things he'd bring, but apparently they loved these.
Oh, wow.
They just really liked them. And everyone in the house called them fruit scones, which is...
It doesn't quite roll off the tongue.
I put that's a minor hazinga.
It is, yeah.
But they're like, Dad, please bring us some of those fruit scones home. We love them. And they would request him so much. He really felt like he had a hit on his hands. So he was really excited to show them off at Kellogg's. And they really liked them. He's like, what about calling them fruit scones? And like, we don't love that. So they had to come up with a name for these things. So they call everyone, all the bigwigs call everyone into the meeting who's good at naming products. It's probably time I set the scene for this. It's 1964. We're in a mid-century modern. And actually, when I wrote that, I was like, is this mid-century modern or is this just mid-century? Like, is mid-century modern now trying to be the 60s? And back then it was just mid-century?
Oh, I wonder. No, I know it's mid-century modern. 60s, yeah.
Back then it's still?
Sure, yeah.
At the time?
Modern, yes.
Okay.
Clean lines, geometric.
So it's a mid-century modern conference room at Kellogg's headquarters. I picture everyone's probably smoking, they're drinking, there's piles of these pastry treats on the table so people can eat them while they're brainstorming names.
Right.
They start to brainstorm and everybody's throwing out ideas. Some of them are fun, some of them are dumb. They're like pulling things that are from popular culture at the time. I was imagining there's like a me in this meeting, like a guy who like works at Kellogg's, but like he knows what's going on like out in the real world. Like big cereal isn't his entire life.
Oh, I thought you were like the guy like pushing the sandwich cart or like emptying the wastebasket, but you're in on the meeting and then you're like, you have a really good idea.
Yeah, I'm about to have a really good idea. And so I'm like, hey, you know what people couldn't stop talking about like a year ago? There was that artist and like he did a show and like he made all those paintings that they were like soup cans. You remember? People were like really losing their minds over it. And it was like some people were like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And other people were like, this is brilliant. People just couldn't stop talking about it, right? And that's what we want here, like in a name. We want everyone just to be talking about it.
Hey kid, refill my scotch for me, will ya? Less yapping and more emptying waste baskets.
Everyone in the office just laughs at the comment. This guy's trying so hard to like get his idea out. The sarcastic guy in the office yells out, I love it. We'll call him Andy Warhol's Toaster Treats. Everybody laughs again.
Uh-oh.
John's annoyed, but he's so excited to get his idea out there. He doesn't really care. He's like, no, that's not what I mean. What is the style of art that Andy Warhol does? And then the shy guy that John has a crush on who's sitting at the end of the conference table.
Oh, Alistair can play him.
John can't tell me he has a crush on him because being gay in the 60s is very, like, scary. And he's just like...
Pop art?
Yes, pop art! The sarcastic guy, he's like, you want to call these pop arts? Everyone laughs one last time. I take a deep breath knowing that I'm about to change everything. Pop-Tarts. And the rest is history. So now Kellogg's, they have a name for their product, and they've landed on 4 flavors for the launch. Do you know what the 4 flavors might have been for the beginning?
Strawberry.
Yep.
Not s'more.
No.
Not brown sugar.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, brown sugar.
Cinnamon, brown sugar, cinnamon.
Grape. Cheese.
Blueberry. And then apple currant, which 3 of those still
okay.
exist today,
Sure.
and they don't anymore. So they do like a trial run in Cleveland, Ohio. And
Hey,
they were,
Ohio.
I know. Everything has some sort of like Ohio. Like Ohio has touched a lot of the things that we talk about. And they were initially supposed to do 10,000 cases of each of the flavors. They started to sell so well, they got up to 45,000 cases per flavor. They sell out. They're flying off the shelves. It's an instant success. And I thought it was funny just thinking about like a time where like that is something that like people are like losing their minds for.
Yeah,
Like
that's fun.
everyone's running to the store to get.
I mean, it's basically you and your Trader Joe's tote.
Okay. Again.
People elbowing each other.
So a few months later, they roll out Pop-Tarts nationwide, and they sell out just as quickly. Like, people really were just so excited to have something new on the shelves.
Oh, yeah.
And then Kellogg's did something that I think is kind of genius. So they literally did sell out, though you couldn't buy them anymore. So they ran these advertisements apologizing to the public for selling out and promising that they'd be back in stock soon. And that just kind of made people want it more because, like me, when you can't get something, you just want it so much more.
That is so up your alley. I mean, you would have been there nose pressed to the glass waiting for the store to open to nab yourself limit 20 per customer Pop-Tart boxes.
Yeah, I'm writing like Kellogg's like, hey, is there, listen, it's for my mom. She's not well. Can you tell me when they might be coming
Getting
out?
in with like a grocer employee, seeing when the truck pulls up.
Yeah. So that was kind of like the first move in marketing for them. And then they kind of really did become a pretty well-oiled marketing machine. And then like they got really lucky because in the mid 60s, color television started to become more affordable. So more people were buying color televisions. And like first you're listening to radio and then black and white TV forever. And then all of a sudden you have a color television with a big bright Pop-Tart on it.
Yeah. Do you think maybe before like they thought the Pop-Tart filling was brown?
They thought it was gray.
And they get it and they're like, oh my God, wow, look at it. So vibrant.
So bright. Man, when you look at those old Pop-Tart boxes, I don't know if they still do them now, but it would be like made with like real like Welch's jam or whatever jam they were doing now. I don't, they may still do that. I feel like they don't. And then I forgot, in 1971, they introduced a mascot, which I didn't know that they had a mascot.
Oh, old Poppy.
No.
Old Tardy.
No. Milton. Milton the toaster.
A toaster,
okay. I've looked at it. It's cute. And it must have enough of a following. It was only around sporadically for like...
Change.org. Bring Milton back. 40 signatures. Facebook group.
Tattoos you'll regret. Giant Milton on like this muscular guy's back.
Yes.
But it must have been popular enough. I saw that there was like a Funko of a Milton.
I mean,
they'll make a Funko out of anything.
There's probably a Funko of us.
Wow. Someday. Someday there will be. But yeah, he's cute. Look him up. He's pretty cute. He was on packages sporadically for like 10 years. So everything's going well. And Bill's like, there's something scratching at him. He feels like they're not quite what they could be.
Okay.
And he's working and he's watching the assembly line and they're making cookies that are frosted. They're kind of like, it's kind of like that thing when we go to Krispy Kreme and we watch the donuts go through the conveyor belt.
Yeah.
And they go through that like water fountain of glaze. It's so hypnotic. That's what these cookies are doing. And he asked his boss, he's like, you know what? I want to run a couple Pop-Tarts through there and glaze them. And the guy's like,
I want to run a lot of things through there.
Yeah, what?
I want to just be buck naked laying on my back.
Babe.
On that belt.
We're a family pod.
Get me on that belt.
Ugh.
With my mouth agape. I mean, I could just stare at that thing for hours.
I do enjoy watching it. So Bill's boss is like, man, I don't think this is going to work. He's like, I think the frosting will melt. And Bill's like, I've been doing this a long time. Let's just frost a couple and see what happens. So he runs some pop.
What a dork is like, we can't even try it. It'll melt. It's like a worst case scenario. We waste 4 Pop-Tarts.
I will say,
give it a shot.
A lot of these stories about Bill are from interviews of Bill, so they're from his point of view. So I feel like maybe
he's like playing up the naysayer role a little bit. We're like, we wanted to start this podcast, and Al was like, "No, you guys suck. You're
no
not
one likes
funny.
Brands. Everyone will hate you." Exactly like that. So he runs some through. He says he like after all the worry and everything, basically it took him less than a day to come up with a front. He like ran them through. They dried. He put them in a toaster. It didn't melt. He went to a meeting. He's like, "Look, guys. guys, the big wigs at Kellogg's were like, that's great. You will now have our approval to frost every Pop-Tart.
Do you think the naysayer was like, they still look a little wet to me? It's like, no, I'm touching them. They're pretty dry. It's like, I touched one in the corner, kind of smeared a little bit. I don't think that'll hold up to the packaging. It's like, well, just let them dry a little bit longer. They've only been off the assembly line for like 12 hours.
Looks like the toaster's smoking. Are you sure they're not on fire?
I think it's kind of like smearing a little bit. I don't think it's very good.
Well, that naysayer would be wrong because, as we all know, frosted Pop-Tarts are the Pop-Tarts everyone thinks of now. Yeah. Nobody likes except me. And there must be a couple people.
You must be buttering them up pretty good to prefer an unfrosted Pop-Tart.
I do.
How much butter are we talking?
I mean,
nutritionist, cover your ears. Kathy, cover your ears.
I mean, I don't know how much it is. A couple. This is like when you would use the term healthy. A couple healthy pats.
Okay.
Is that what?
A few tablespoons.
A couple tablespoons.
Yeah, sure.
And then you see those articles. It's like, is butter bad?
Some say it's a superfood.
I do use Kerrygold butter, so at least it's probably
there. You go.
Better.
Yeah, grass-fed, sure.
All right, so now we have frosted Pop-Tarts. Those, again, are an instant hit. By 1973, they're making 19 different flavors of those. Yeah, and that's kind of the overall story of Pop-Tarts. Now I just have a few timeline things to go through. 1994, Pop-Tart cereal hit the scene.
Okay.
Did you ever have that?
No, it feels short-lived.
It was short-lived, and it kind of looked like a frosted mini-wheat without the frosting, but with like a jam-ish
jam inside.
Yeah.
This Pop-Tart cereal kind of reminds me of like the Cookie Crisp era, where it felt like cereal was kind of getting pretty loosey-goosey with what qualified as cereal. It's just like any food that you pour a bowl of and put milk on it, you're calling it cereal, because there was a period where Cookie Crisp, unless this is a Mandela effect, I remember it was literally small chocolate chip cookies. It was not a like puffed rice little with chocolate chips. It was literally chocolate chip cookies.
No, it was 100% little chocolate chip cookies.
Because now it's not. Now it's like a cereal puff.
They've changed everything because there also used to be, and we all know how much I enjoy Rice Krispie Treat. There was Rice Krispie Treat cereals, which were like
clusters of Rice Krispie Treats.
Crunchy Rice Krispie Treats.
What a perfect time to be a kid.
And now that's changed too to something less desirable.
Yeah.
And then they'll make everything. They're like waffles and bacon cereal. And then every tie-in like Star Wars or Jar Jar Binks or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Man, I do love cereal though.
Same.
2001, the United States dropped 2.4 million Pop-Tarts in Afghanistan as a care package for the soldiers. I mean, that's great, right?
But you went to Afghanistan to get free Pop-Tarts.
They're all sweaty.
I was wondering why you joined the military right after 9/11. You were like, I just feel really called to serve, and, it's really honorable what they're doing.
I'm packed for the army, and I just have a suitcase full of butter sticks. Got to head out in the morning.
They need me. Front lines.
In 2004, they came up with the tagline that they still use today. Do you remember that? We talked about that. It's on the box of the giant Pop-Tart.
Don't stop it lest you pop it.
Babe, crazy good.
Oh, yeah.
Where?
Oh, I see. Yeah, crazy big, crazy good. I don't remember that. And I was in peak Pop-Tart consumption. I was in high school, so I feel like...
They still say it. Isn't it like, it's like a... Like, he's like, it's crazy good.
Who says that? Milton the Toaster?
No, I think it's just a voice.
Some cowboy?
No, what? It's just a voice you hear.
You sounded like a cowboy. It should be called Barry, and it's a berry. Like a strawberry named Barry.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
he's kind of funny. He's kind of like a laid-back guy.
Crazy good.
Exactly. He's kind of like a Big Lebowski, kind of like slacker.
No.
And his name is Barry. And he's like, it's crazy good.
Hey, you know what?
He's like smoking like an old cigar butt he found in the gutter.
I feel like Kellogg's would frown on the cigar. That gets like a big like cross out at on the bulletin board.
It's good. It's crazy good.
It's crazy good. Yeah, I do feel like that whole like it's crazy good is like all brands. So many brands go through that. Like there's like a Simpsons about that where like make that dog have 20% more attitude, and they put like sunglasses on him. Like
yeah, no, that's why I feel like crazy good is more like. It's more like this guy was like, it's crazy good. And he's like, I found a human skull in the woods behind my house. It's crazy good.
I don't know that you should work in children's foods. I found a corpse in my basement. It's crazy good. All right, 2007, they do something that I hate so much.
What?
Laser printing on Pop-Tarts.
Oh, why do you hate that?
I just find it so, like, Pop-Tart itself is already, like, you're like, if you're able to do that, you're like, man, it's so processed. Like, it's unnatural colors. But then, like...
You're slathering butter on it while you're going, oh, God, this is so processed. All these unnatural colors.
All I'm saying is even
laser printed? Is this supposed to be healthy? Come on, what are they putting in the food these days? Jeez Louise. Are they trying to make us sick or are they trying to make us well? Okay. Well, I'm out of butter.
There's just something about like a LA Rams helmet, like lasered onto my Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
Or SpongeBob.
It like just reminds you that the food came out of a computer.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm
Instead of a
picturing.
kitchen,
Like
yeah.
it's already, you picture it go through the whole thing and I'm like, hey, you got to send those over to the printing room and then zzz, 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 zzz. And it's like a weird looking SpongeBob SquarePants.
And like an edible ink.
An edible ink.
Yeah, I don't like an edible ink.
So I felt like that was a bit of a zinger. I'm sure kids like it.
Sure.
2010, they might have got a little cocky and maybe a little too big for their britches, but they decided to see if they were popular enough to support a pop-up store in Times Square.
Oh, no.
Right? That opened in August.
Definitely not. Wait, like a store? Like how short of a pop-up? Like a weekend?
It lasted for 4 months.
Oh,
Which made, and now they're like, well, we did it knowing that we would close it, but I think they like were hoping
they were open. There used to be a restaurant in a neighborhood I lived in like 15 years ago. It was a cereal restaurant, and you could imagine somebody being like, this is fun. It's like we have a wall, all these different kinds of cereals, and like people come and they pay $8.95 for a bowl of cereal. Of course, 3 months later, they're gone.
That reminds me of when my dad and I were young. There was a place that opened in Cincinnati called PB Ritzy, and it was like expensive peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
No.
And I feel like at the time they were like $6, which now is like $85. And we went. I remember we went once and got these like fancy peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yeah, I mean because it's like a Pop-Tart, it's like cereal, it's like PB&J, it's like. It's good, and you can. It's a home food.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's a home.
It's
food.
a home food.
I don't need to pay more. I mean, I did just pay.
Can you imagine eating a bowl of cereal on a first date? That's so terrible.
It's all
Slurping.
crunchy, yeah.
You're doing your weird milk thing. I was asking if they have a microwave in the back. My God, it's terrible.
They're like, actually, we're a cereal store, so we don't have that. He's like, okay, I'll just set the bowl out in the sun for an hour, and then I'll eat it.
Can you watch my bowl while I go run some errands?
He's got like a sog meter. He sticks in. He can't eat it till it's a certain sogginess.
Yeah, he has to be able to stick the spoon in straight up without tipping over.
All right. Well, how awful does this sound? One of the things they served at this pop-up store was called Pop-Tart sushi.
No.
What do you think that is?
Raw tuna. Rolled up in a Pop-Tart.
It's 3 different kinds of Pop-Tarts.
Okay.
Minced.
No.
Wrapped in a fruit roll-up. Hazinga.
What year was this?
2010.
Okay, so this feels like social media is just kind of starting.
Yeah.
Like Instagram. And people are thinking like, we want to make our YouTube viral moment. Like,
Which I get.
But that's not enough.
No, I did like this. They did have a create your own variety pack vending machine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure, I'll have
one of those in the airport.
Give me a couple. You know what's a surprise hit in my mouth?
What? What?
Cherry.
What?
They have a cherry Pop-Tart with like a dark cherry frosting.
Oh, okay. It was a surprise hit in your mouth?
I enjoy those.
You ate it at home in your house and you said out loud, well, that's a surprise hit in my mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. I was
That's
like,
great.
you know what? I was like, that's crazy good.
Hey, that's crazy good.
Do you think like the executive of Kellogg's is going to hear this and be like, he's going to want to hate that, but he can't stop thinking about it, and they're going to change it? This was an interesting fact that it came out.
Yeah.
In 2014, sales of Pop-Tarts had increased for 32 years straight.
Oh, my God.
And I think that has continued. I don't know if there was a dip during COVID. Everyone kind of gets a break for that. But
wow.
They just go up every single year. They've never really faltered as far as sales go.
It follows like the birth rate, and then the birth rate drops, and then Pop-Tart drops.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. Who would have known?
That's crazy. Crazy good.
That's crazy good.
That fact is crazy good.
In 2021, we're at the butter segment of this. So, as we've talked about a little bit before, there's been a lot of there's two camps. But do you butter a Pop-Tart? Do you not? And
No, there's not. Are there two camps?
yeah, there's been Reddit threads and YouTube videos. There was a movie about it. No, but there are. These are not groups.
Sure. You mean like you and your siblings?
He's looking it up. I can
Nobody did. No, nobody in my circle ever introduced that. This is actually like putting sugar on cereal. It's not like in my house there was no restriction about sugar or butter consumption. If I had gotten myself a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios and a bag of sugar, nobody would have batted an eye. But putting sugar on cereal never occurred to anybody. Same with butter on Pop-Tarts.
What do you mean putting sugar on cereal never occurred to anybody?
We never, not one time, put sugar on cereal. And
you guys didn't put sugar on your cereal?
And I was eating bowls of powdered Country Time lemonade with a spoon.
We had cups of frozen orange juice concentrate as a sorbet.
So sugar was flowing, but we never once put sugar on cereal. Not even plain Cheerios, not even plain flakes.
Well, you would only put it on the plain things. You wouldn't put sugar on a sugary cereal.
Not in David's house. They put sugar on Honey Nut Cheerios.
That's psychotic.
I agree.
Okay, well, all that's great to know. But what I was going to say, in 2021, Kellogg's embraced their butter-loving fans, me, by doing a collab, which I didn't hear about. And now that I've researched it, I'm very sad I wasn't a part of it.
Okay. A part on the package? You want it to be like you on the box?
No, but I wish I would have purchased this.
Oh, okay.
They did a collab with a small batch buttery from Atlanta called Banner Butters.
I love that it's small batch and not like Pop-Tart by Country Crock.
Exactly.
Great.
And they created what was called the Pop-Tarts Butter Kit. And what it was, you got 3 different iconic Pop-Tart flavors. You got frosted strawberry, frosted brown sugar and cinnamon, and frosted chocolate fudge. I do like that chocolate fudge one.
Ooh, wow.
That's a good one because you get that chocolate crust.
That's basically like pie.
But then you also got 6 slow-churned Banner butter varieties and a packet on appropriate pairings. There was a honey habanero butter, a sea salt, a strawberry, a chocolate, a cinnamon, cardamom, ginger, and a balsamic fig caramelized onion butter. It was just sounds like now this, I would much rather have this than a pop-up store with fruit roll-up sushi.
But this was not on a grocery store shelf.
No, this was you probably had to get it on the website and be one of the 100 people like I did with that giant Pop-Tart.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, but I didn't know about it and I wish I had.
What a shame. Maybe there's one on eBay for you.
2022, 3 billion Pop-Tarts were sold.
How many times do they go around the earth?
I don't know because I don't care because it won't mean anything to me. 2023, they topped 985 million. We're this close to being $1 billion in sales. Wow. 2024, Bill passes away.
Oh.
He was 96 years old when he died.
Wow.
He spent 41 years working at Keebler before he took a job as a consultant for Kellogg's, which he worked at for 19 years.
Send that fact to your nutritionist who questions how your diet affects your longevity.
Yeah. He had 60 years in big cereal.
That's amazing.
His favorite flavor was strawberry, and he was quoted saying that he always kept Pop-Tarts on hand.
In his back pocket.
In his car. In his car.
In his car. In the glove box.
I mean, that could go hey, I got Pop-Tarts in the car.
Is that a car food? Seems a little crumbly.
Seems like it could melt.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, he would know. Give it a try.
Give it a try. Before I get to the thing I was about to get to, I did one of our review roundups. I went down a rabbit hole the other night on Target.com. Mm-hmm. There's 1,400 reviews or ratings on Pop-Tart.
Review Roundup. That's fun.
Yeah.
Review Roundup. Review Rodeo.
Review Rodeo. The something. We haven't, I was just...
Yeehaw!
Okay, Roundup. We'll go with Roundup. You don't have a noise for that, right?
I'll work on it.
It's crazy good. All right, so here's a few. I laid in bed and read reviews on Pop-Tarts for probably 2 hours.
I could lay in bed looking at reviews until I become a skeleton.
It is.
My bony finger. Going looking at somebody's review and then like clicking on their page and then looking at other reviews they've left and just like making up a whole life for them.
It's insane. Okay,
fun.
so let's go through a few of these. First review
So intimate.
from Rabbit. Yucky. 1 star.
Okay.
Worst flavor. But then again, I hate strawberry flavored things. And strawberries in general. Why'd you eat it? Why'd you get it? They're called strawberry Pop-Tarts. Okay, this guy, holy crap, man. This guy had a really good day. This is a 5-starer from Calvin.
Yeehaw!
No, this is the roundup.
Oh,
Not the rodeo. Best flavor. I just ate 2. And let me tell you, these were the best Pop-Tarts I've ever had.
oh my God.
Thick,
Whoa.
very soft.
Oh, okay.
Just overall, probably the best Pop-Tart ever made. And I ate it. I like cinnamon too, but not as good as the strawberry. Hopefully the other ones in the box are as good as the one I just had, because let me tell you, it was pretty tasty.
Wow. I think they accidentally ate a magic mushroom before eating these Pop-Tarts.
And then the last one, my all-time favorite, 3 stars.
That's okay. Reasonable. 1 and 5 is a little bit like, there's no way you feel that extreme. Let's like bring it back down to reality.
No. Don't get ahead of yourself.
I'm sure this is a sensible person with helpful feedback to the consumer.
This is from Casey,
Okay, Casey.
2 years ago.
Okay.
Subject: haven't tried yet. Review: hope they taste good. What are you doing?
What?
Did she think it's
Are
like
you
law?
doing?
Like, oh God, I have supposed to get that review in by midnight. Haven't tried yet?
And she's like, I don't want to go and say 5 stars because I don't want to mislead people into
Right.
thinking these are 5 is excellent. And I don't want to say 1 because I can't speak to it.
I don't know that it's a 1.
I'm going to say 3.
Yeah.
So far, the box is in good condition.
I'm going to say 3, but I'm telling you what, they better be good. They better be good.
Wow, I love that. Thank you, Casey.
So that's Pop-Tarts, man. That's what we got on Pop-Tarts.
Wow, what a ride.
Before we do like shout outs and wrap up, I did want to give a quick shout out to Ashley Falls Eckerd. She's a brand freak that goes way back. She's written us many times about different things. You had your Oreo episode last week. She wrote us and she was like, I loved the episode on Oreos today. My lab group actually did an Oreo blind taste test this summer with a bunch of different brands, including Hydrox. And Harris Teeter brand actually ranked the highest. Thought you guys might enjoy seeing some footage. And so she sent a picture of this group of all these people like testing out. They tested 11 different sandwich cookies and gave them like very detailed ratings. Your favorite, Trader Joe's, 1.85, bottom of the pile.
Wow.
Dead last. Then they've got Giant I don't even know most of these. Giant Eagle, Wegmans, Whole Foods, gluten-free Oreo, Happy Belly. Hydrox is number 4. Benton's, Food Lion, and Harris Teeter, which I don't know either.
Wow.
Harris Teeter got an 8.
These are students?
Yeah. I know. I wrote her, I was like, this is your job?
Wow.
She's like, no, sometimes we just need to do stuff that like...
These are our people. That sounds really fun.
Yeah, that was fun, and I love that she shared that with us.
John, after all this journey through the Pop-Tart stratosphere, are Pop-Tarts on brand for you?
Yeah, I think they're fun. They're not, I don't want them all. I don't want 90% of the flavors, but a lot of the things that I like, I don't like everything. I like camper shoes, but I only like one style that they sell. I collect Swatch watches. I only like very specific ones. I would say 90% of the swatches I don't like. So I feel like this kind of falls in that category. There's a couple that I really enjoy. Do I get them all the time? Yeah. No, I don't. I don't buy them often, but yeah, sometimes I'll crave a Pop-Tart and you walk past the aisle and there's so many of them and it's iconic. And now that I know more about it, I know about Bill, maybe I'll keep a box in my car. I give Pop-Tarts to...
2 what?
2 butter pats. 5 pats of butter. Yeah, it's on brand for me. What about you?
You know, because I haven't bought Pop-Tarts in so long, I can't say that they're on brand for me, because if they were, I would have bought them by now. But I will say, we tasted that giant Pop-Tart, and I was pleasantly surprised. The taste was very similar to what I remember, the nostalgic, flaky flavors, the jam, the frosting. I found it to be a wonderful taste sensation, but I can't in earnest say that they're on brand for me because it's been so long since I've eaten them. But what a treat to have one today and to learn all about them.
Fair enough. And I will say the giant one, I don't think is an actual Pop-Tart. I think it's made at a bakery, but Al said it tasted like how he remembers Pop-Tarts.
I think it does too. And maybe it even tastes more like the way they were, maybe since they were printed by computers.
Yeah, pre-printing.
Mm-hmm, pre-printing.
You know what, that big one that we got, you know what I think about it?
What?
I think it's crazy good.
Crazy good.
Crazy good. All right, well, that's it for Pop-Tarts. We should probably wrap things up. We've gone a little long on this episode. I wanted to give shout out to our Insta Egg freaks. If you don't know, every week, the day before the show, I post a puzzle on our Instagram story. If you can guess what the brand is, you get a fun little DM from us, and you get to know what the brand is a day early. Apparently, Oreo, I thought it was so easy. I was worried it was way too easy. Apparently, so many people were confused by it, which I thought was kind of fun. It almost became like a magic eye puzzle. Once you guessed it, you couldn't not see it. But then people started to guess things like Radio Shack, and I was like, oh man, it kind of does look like Radio Shack. A couple of people were like REI, and I was like, it does look like REI. But it was Oreo. And a bunch of people did get it. We've gone a little long, so let's say I'm going to pick 5 random people who got it right this time. I'm going to give shout outs first. I'm going to give a shout out to Jillian Skolton, who has gotten the Insta Egg right before, but apparently I say her name wrong every time. I'll give a shout out to Eric Make a Mess. He didn't get it at first. He really struggled. This guy, man, he was gold medal with Olympics, and then he's really fallen. So Eric,
he got cocky, yeah.
He got cocky, man. He's like, I'm the fastest in the land, and then he's like, I don't know what this is, but he ended up getting it right. Of course, the Hattons got it right. Alex Hill and Allison with 2 L's and a Y. So congratulations on getting those Insta Eggs. If you're new to the pod, check out our Instagram story on Wednesdays. Try to guess it. It's a lot of fun.
And while we're giving shout outs, I want to give a special shout out to somebody who left us a lovely review on Apple Podcasts. Jerry Litzler wrote us after our Doughboys appearance with a funny inside joke from there. This show is perfect, and this review is actually a carrot. If you don't get that joke, then go listen to our episode on Doughboys where we talk about carrots. If you haven't left us a review on Apple Podcasts, please do that. That really helps the show out. You can visit us on Instagram at OnBrandThePod, on TikTok at OnBrandThePodcast, where you can see John's Insta Eggs, clips from the show, supplemental goodies, and you can chat with us there. We love to hear from you guys. And with that, we will be back next week with an all-new episode.
And remember, I think this episode proves it just as much as any. We may go off topic, but we will always be on brand.
Bye.
Goodbye.